Hello drama lovers, welcome back to K-pop world. There are stories that aren't always spoken out loud. Stories that don't make the big headlines but quietly echo in the hearts of those who watch with more than just their eyes. Today, we dive back into the emotional tale of Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, two major names who once stood side by side, but now seem to walk along a blurred line, drawing closer, pulling away, then falling silent. But behind every silence, there's always something trying to be said. Their meeting wasn't just a work collaboration. In the drama The Untamed, two fictional characters came together in a bond that left a lasting impression. But what truly caught attention was what happened after the cameras turned off. The laughter, the shoulder touches, and glances that lingered too long to be called coincidence. Some fans called it fate. But fate, as we know, is rarely simple. At one promo event, cameras caught Yibo standing slightly apart, quietly watching Xiao Zhan surrounded by fans and crew. His face looked calm. But for those who understood, that wasn't calm, it was distance. Not because he didn't care, but maybe because he cared too much. Moments continued to pass. But one thing that fueled fan theories was the eyes. Wang Yibo's gaze, impossible to fake. One simple but telling incident happened behind the scenes of a photo shoot. The camera was focused on Xiao Zhan as he chatted with a new staff member. His face was bright, his eyes sparkled. Then suddenly, Yibo, who appeared to be resting nearby, grabbed the camera remote and changed the angle. The focus shifted, just like that. At first glance, it looked like a joke. But was it? Or was it a reaction rooted in something deeper, something uninvited, but impossible to resist? Fans didn't stay quiet. One comment on Weibo went viral. When someone gets too close, we sometimes fear losing them simply because we don't know how to hold on. That line showed up on Wang Yibo's account, with no context, no explanation, but to the thousands of fans watching them, it was louder than a scream. At a fan meet and greet, Xiao Zhan appeared as usual, warm, cheerful, bowing politely, receiving gifts with a bright smile. Off to the side, Wang Yibo sat quietly, not moving much, but his eyes followed every move Zhan made. Not with envy, but with longing. Longing for a time when they were closer, before schedules, fame, and pressure built invisible walls between them. At one point, a camera caught Yibo giving a small smile as Zhan laughed with fans. But that smile didn't reach his eyes. Someone commented, "Sometimes, the calmest ones carry the deepest waves." During a joint live stream, they played a simple game together. But it wasn't just a score battle. It became an emotional race. Xiao Zhan focused intently on the game, laughing, cheering, aiming for points. Wang Yibo lagged behind, smiling, yes, but his eyes occasionally glanced sideways at Zhan, then back at the screen. It lasted only seconds, but fans saw a metaphor. Zhan was running, Yibo was chasing, not to win, but just to stay on the same level. In a luxury magazine shoot, they stood side by side, so close that their shadows touched. Then, without cue, Xiao Zhan gently wrapped his arm around Yibo's shoulder. No words, but his lips moved. He whispered something. Yibo's reaction? A small smile and a soft pat on Zhan's back. Fans speculated. Was it a joke? Or were those words too heavy to be said aloud? Someone on Twitter wrote, "They speak in a language only they understand. The rest of us can only guess with our hearts." During preparations for an Asia tour, a report claimed Wang Yibo asked staff to include Xiao Zhan's favorite songs in the pre-show playlist. Some called it sweet, but true fans knew it was care, the kind that doesn't ask to be seen. In a radio interview, they were asked, "If you could switch roles for a day, what would you do?" Zhan said, "I'd like to see the world through Yibo's eyes." Yibo said, I'd like to know what it feels like to be the center of everyone's attention. Simple answers, but behind them, hidden confessions, a wish to be understood, and a longing to be seen. At another fan meeting, Xiao Zhan suddenly called Yibo to the front of the stage. After receiving a gift, he smiled, then picked a single rose. Playfully, he handed it to Yibo. Yibo looked a bit confused, then tucked the rose behind his ear. Fans laughed, but some grew quiet, because for them, it wasn't just a joke. It was Zhan's way of saying, "I still remember your hair." At a variety show, they did a blindfold challenge. Zhan had to rely on Yibo's voice to guide him. Left, a little more, perfect. When Zhan succeeded, he took off the blindfold and immediately hugged Yibo. Spontaneous, unscripted, and Yibo returned it gently. A staff member once revealed something small. Yibo often reminded Zhan to rest, sending messages late at night, just to make sure he was okay. Zhan responded differently, by bringing Yibo's favorite snacks on set. No cameras caught that. No social media posts. But that's exactly what made it real. With rumors swirling, people trying to drive them apart, both remained calm. They didn't deny anything, but they didn't explain either. All they did was stay present. In shared photos, in the same hashtags, in glances that hadn't changed. Their bond wasn't about being publicly close. It was about the strength to keep caring, even in silence. Now, as they focus on individual projects, one question lingers. Is this the end of their closeness? Or just a pause in a bigger story? Will we still see those quiet rosies, the hidden hugs, the gentle glances that speak louder than any script? Or will time turn it all into memories, too sweet to forget? The Yizhan story isn't over, and as long as they keep looking for each other, even across stages, or through the same song, the story will keep living. Do you believe there's something deeper than friendship here? Or do you see this as a quiet, nameless kind of care? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to know how you interpret this silent story. Thank you for watching and feeling this story with us on Kpop World. See you in the next video, because stories that don't end always have room to continue.